This time, my boy.
Okay.
Got any guesses? My boy.
Your boy.
Give me partially yours. I don't know, but I've been saying he's my boy for this entire year.
Wait. Oh, Marmoush.
Yeah. Has made a move in the transfer window. I believe it became official today. Manchester City signs Omar Marmoush from Frankfurt. The Egyptian basically had a 4-month audition in the Bundesliga this year after being off the radar. Truly, this past couple of years, he just made a name for himself this year, putting up crazy numbers in the Bundesliga, showcasing incredible agility, skills on the ball, free kick finishes, header finishes, volleys, anything you want offensively. Up there with Ekitike, just combining to be a deadly duo that unfortunately won't see the season out together as he's making the big jump, bro. Big jump from Eintracht Frankfurt to Manchester City. How do you feel about this one?
This one's really complicated for me because I just love both sides of this signing. So from a Frankfurt perspective, this sucks. I mean, because without Marmoush, you're losing probably the most creative player in the Bundesliga. Yeah. Not just with Eintracht Frankfurt, but in the entirety of the league. He has the highest chances of scoring and assisting. So that's what you're losing in Frankfurt. And not only for Marmoush, just the mid-season when you're having a season like this, to just cut it off, say goodbye Frankfurt. I'm going to try to see out the rest of the season, even though I'm having a stellar season in a different league with a different team. It's crazy. And also just considering Guardiola has a history. He has a history of taking creative players and shunting their creativity so they become systematic players. Yeah. That worries me. But here's the thing. Here's the good news. Marmoush is a baller. And I think even with Guardiola as the coach, Marmoush is just too creative. And he's too good to let any coach ultimately darken his light, man. Because Marmoush is crazy good on the ball. And realistically, players who create chances for themselves do very, very well, no matter where they go. He's not going to rely on any service. He's not going to rely on a midfield to feed him. You give him the ball anywhere on the pitch, he can make something happen. So I'm not worried about Marmoush whatsoever. Also take into account Manchester City's situation, bro. I mean, Savinho's failing. Phil Foden's failing them. Bernardo Silva's failing them. No one's doing the work right now offensively outside of Haaland for Manchester City. So Marmoush literally can only go upwards offensively with this team. So from that perspective, I think it's a great signing.
Yeah, Marmoush, I think, will become what Manchester City fans thought would become of Matheus Nunes. I think he is going to be the amplified version, the one that is more clinical, more skillful, because I was scared for Marmoush to see what ended up happening for him in the transfer window. And more so, a little scared for the transition, right? Going from Bundesliga to Premier League. We've seen many players try to do that, or just any league outside the Bundesliga, make that transition. It can be very tough because Bundesliga is a league that kind of is tailored to the offensive player. You can put up numbers like crazy there, like how we saw for the same team in Frankfurt do with Randall Kolomuani, and then ultimately end up being very questionable in a different league. So I was worried about that when I saw him at Frankfurt. I was like, can this transition? And I was asking myself that question as I saw him play, but bro, you look at the goals he's scoring, and not even that, not even the goals or the assists, the moments that he has on the pitch where he just has a really nice touch, or he drives back past one or two players in very stunning fashion. His speed, his quickness, his IQ, it just seems to all be there, man. And so I would truly be surprised if he ends up becoming a bust. Like, I really would.
Agreed.
It would surprise me here because I think all the attributes are there now for him to be successful. I think Manchester City, yes, they're in a bad spot right now, but in general, it's a big club that thrives with offensive players. I think it's going to go well for him. I think it's going to go good for him. I'm hoping for the best here. But obviously, there's a part of me that's just a little worried because, he's not a European player. He might have that pressure on him. It's a big move, big jump, and he hasn't been good his whole career. He just made this big jump in like the past 12 months, honestly, where he's looking like a stellar player now. All in all, I think we're good. I think it's going to be a great, great time, and I'm just excited to see Marmoush right away in the Premier League.
Dang, and also Champions League technically. I mean, it's official? It's
official, man. Dang, I think the fee was like 60, maybe 70 mil.
Dang, so maybe he makes an appearance on the last match day of the Champions League, and Loki City might need it at that point. Who knows, bro? Who knows?
I think so, man. We'll be interested to see what becomes of Marmoush in the Premier League, but Man, I'm excited. We got another electric Egyptian. This is big for Egypt as well, man. This is huge now. Once Mo Salah retires or slows down his pace, you can now look to Marmoush to have a good 5-year span, hopefully, at Manchester City.
Yeah, and you consider it from a market perspective, too. I think people who don't really know who Marmoush is, all of a sudden are going to realize the class that this player possesses, man. Because you look at Frankfurt, and while they are fighting for a top 4 spot in the Bundesliga, we've noted at times throughout the season where the rest of the team has let Ekitike and Marmoush down. And now, maybe in the Premier League, maybe with slightly better players, Marmoush can really, truly flourish offensively. So I'm really hoping that this works out for him, and I'm with you. I do think it will work out for him.